Wednesdays are for wow because tonight on the Younger After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV, Pauline is falling apart. Charles doesn't know who Liza is. It's going to be amazing. Stay tuned for Season 5, Episode 3, Tour de Force of Younger here on AFTERBUZZ now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What's my name? What's my name? You know, this is what Charles said to Liza.
Pretty much.
So we thought this was an appropriate song.
I like it.
Hello, everybody. Happy Hump Day. My name is Tsahai, and this is the Younger After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. We have some news and gossip tonight, some predictions, and we are going to have an amazing time talking about this week's episode, Tour de Force. I also have a lovely panel with me this evening.
Hey everybody, I'm Alice, and I'm super excited to talk about this week's episode because there was a lot going on.
Hey guys, I'm Taylor and ditto.
And you may notice that Sam is missing. She had to do some stand-up this evening, so we're wishing her good luck, or break a leg, shall we say?
Yes.
All right, so we have so much to talk about tonight. Charles was upset, okay? Very upset. Pauline couldn't handle just a simple little lie to kind of help the company out. And then our girl, Kelsey, got into Yara, which as a single woman, I'm excited about that. So let's talk more about this episode. Ladies, what did you think of this episode?
Well, there's so many things that happen in this episode. I think we're going to see the emergence of a new love triangle with Kelsey, which I think we've been waiting for after, you know, she broke up with her last boyfriend, or maybe even Zayn. We were like, when is she going to get like a real nice guy?
Yeah.
And, you know, Josh gave us some good news, I guess, and except unless you're a Charles fan, which we know there's some of you out there.
Which is me. And so I was like, oh, I don't know how this is going to go. But I don't want it to get any simpler because that's not what Younger's all about. It's about it being messy and complicated.
I know. And, you know, we got some feedback about, you know, our strong resentment towards Charles last week, but I will say this week I feel for Charles now. I mean, you know, I'm flip-flopping, yes, but I love them both. But Charles this week, he was so upset. I've never seen him that mad. So basically, we start with Kelsey and Zayn vying for this new gentleman. His name is Jake Devereaux. Doesn't that sound like a Southern name, like a Southern gentleman?
It sounds very important. Yeah, I thought it was a great name for him.
He was an Obama advisor, a speech writer, excuse me, and he is writing a book and he's making the media rounds. And so Kelsey and Zayn decide that they want to try to reach him so they can pitch him for his new book that he's about to write. We also have Pauline on her book tour, not doing too well.
No, not at all.
Really not.
And we see her kind of go up and down. We also have Diana, who I love, did you see that part where Diana was comforting Charles? Charles reveals that he and Pauline are not, you know, going to be together anymore, and they are getting a divorce. And Diana, my favorite, as you know, uses the back of her hand to touch him.
She listened during the seminar. I loved it. It was so obvious, and it like rang back to like the first episode of the season. She's so hilarious.
She's so awkward, but like genuine at the same time, and I love that about her. And then we have Liza she knows Charles knows something, but he hasn't exactly revealed to her in the beginning of the episode what that was. And so I love the way she kept on trying to like talk to him a little bit, like, hey, like, do you want to talk to me? I'm here, I'm available for you. But, you know, what did you guys think about the way Pauline was handling this whole book tour situation?
I thought it was really funny, actually.
You were laughing at her pain?
Honestly, yes, because just the way she expressed it, like, she was so over the top about it, and she was just on the verge of tears the whole time. And so, I don't know, I like, props to that actress, because she played, like, being, like, teetering on the edge so well, I thought.
Exactly. But I've had strong feelings about Pauline, and seeing her fall apart, I was like, girl, get it together. But then when Charles came to the book tour and saw her at the end, I thought that was really sweet, but she was angry.
I know. I was actually surprised by that at the end where she was like, well, what I wanted to tell them was that it's all your fault. And I was like, whoa.
I feel like
that
we've
was
all
surprising.
been there, though. Like, right when someone rejects you, then you just pull out everything, like, horrible that you have to say against them. So I think it was coming from a place of pain. But we already, like, knew that she felt that way because that's, like, exactly what the book was about.
Right.
But now she has to flip right away.
But I was like, girl, like, get it. I was like, Pauline, who are you? 1 minute you're crying and you can barely speak, and the next thing you know, you're like this bitter soon-to-be ex-wife. So I was like, where did this come from? And then the scene where she sees Charles and Liza look at each other, it was
oh my gosh, right?
subtle, but I guess Pauline really was intuitive and picked up on their romance. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, she definitely saw that look of like, because what did he say exactly? He was like,
he was like,
something
like,
about like
sometimes you're blind to like what's right
in front of you,
and like looked, and it was just like what's right in front of you.
I loved
and then
it,
they were
though.
like, wait, what? And she was like, wait, oh,
Pauline was like the third wheel.
It.
Yeah, she was like standing out with like the sore thumb. But her reaction was very interesting because she just flipped so quickly. I just didn't expect that from her because when she was just crying two scenes prior about wanting her marriage to work out.
Well, I feel like she feels betrayed by both of them because Charles just dumped her last episode, and here Liza was, who she kind of thought was her friend, has been with her through this whole process, and the fact that she knows that like her friend and confidant was, you know, with her husband for a time, they share these romantic feelings. I'm sure she feels completely lied to, completely betrayed.
Totally.
But I loved that moment of recognition because I thought it was so subtle, but like so much was packed into all those looks, and it was very dramatic and intense.
Also, Pauline thinks that Liza is a younger woman as well, so I'm sure that's kind of something in the back of her head. She doesn't even know all the things that have gone on between Charles and Liza, but you know, women's intuition, it's a very strong thing, and it's real, guys. Don't try to tell us where it doesn't exist. It is real, and we trust your gut. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting too. I mean, I was reading an article earlier and they said Liza's casualties are starting to stack up, you know, of people that she had these relationships with where they really liked her, like Pauline, who like has exactly like you said, like confided in her about like all these details about her and Charles, and like I'm sure she had no idea at the time that like, you know, there was anything going on with Liza, or she wouldn't have shared any of that stuff. So it's like, and then with Charles, and then, you know, Josh, and
even Kelsey was super hurt by it.
I know. But fortunately, she has her girlfriend's back. You know, the men are leaving, but her girlfriends seem to be sticking around.
A common trait.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of girlfriends, Josh had several this episode. Romantic. He's working his way through the city to mend his broken heart, and he had some visitors too in this episode. But I felt like it alluded to more. He also seemed drunk. Like it was like he was. Did he like
he's
just
drowning his sorrows and everything
in sex and booze?
Yeah.
But is that the way to move? You know,
It
mend
is.
a broken heart.
It's not the traditional Josh way though, which is kind of what he was telling Lauren.
Yeah.
Which he's trying to change himself because he just feels like he can't have any lasting relationships, which I think is so sad.
Did you guys think he was gonna say Liza, or did you think he was? I almost thought he was gonna like be like, it's you.
Yeah, I felt some weird
And then I was like,
spark
oh, Liza, yeah,
there
of course.
Well, it was, I don't think we often see Lauren and Josh together. So that was like an interesting dynamic, but I liked it. I was like, I like this friendship. This is a friendship I'd like to see.
Hella good.
Yes, it was. But Lauren is like such a spunky personality. The fact that she puts Kelsey on Yara, and here she is, like, she doesn't have a relationship of her own right now. So she's like working on everybody else's relationship, which I thought was super cute. But the fact that she tells him, like, listen, this is not who you are. And when he did say that he thought Liza might be the one, I was, you know, I still have that soft spot for them. So I was happy to hear it.
And I'm surprised Lauren didn't have like a bigger reaction to that. She was just like, okay, well, yeah, if that's what you think, it'll,
I feel like Lauren's
It'll be
just
great.
nothing phases her.
Yeah.
I feel like she's just like, yeah, that makes sense. Here's what you should do about it to everyone.
Totally.
Well, speaking of things not phasing you, what did you guys? So Kelsey and Zayn hooked up. So they meet on the app, and then they end up sleeping together. Which were you like, okay, finally here we go again, or were you like, this is a bad thing?
Honestly, they kind of grew on me in this episode, which I was surprised because I did not think I would ever like them again after they've been through some stuff already.
Yeah, he's been
but
shady.
Just when they matched on the app and she was like, listen, I'm already having a drink in my room. And he's like, that sounds like a cool spot. What's your room number? I was like, that was smooth. I really liked that line. And I thought that was like really cute. And I feel like she's often really flirty towards him.
Yeah.
And so I liked how, he is in his own special way, but he was like flirty without being too mean when he
Yeah.
was texting her on the little app. And so I liked that moment a lot.
I like the part where she was ordering the French fries because she was like regular fries and sweet potato fries, which,
Like she already knew he was going to come over.
well, also like she's one of us, like that's what I would do if I was in a hotel room by myself.
Me too.
Right? I was like, Kelsey. And then I was wondering, was she pregnant then? But it probably was before.
I wonder if they're going to write it in. I don't think they will.
For
but
next season.
Yeah.
What if she gets pregnant for Zayn?
Well, are they already done shooting all the episodes?
Yeah, for this season.
right.
It could happen.
It could
It could happen. What did you think about this connection between Kelsie and Jake Devereaux?
Okay,
Oh,
it's
I
Go
saw
ahead.
you too.
yeah.
Yes.
There's just like an awkward little pause right there, but you know something's going on.
And he wasn't too flirty about it. Like he was just like, "Hey, I saw you too." He was like lightly flirting with her.
Part of me thinks they're cute, but part of me is like, Kelsey, you need to date someone outside of your industry who you're not
Totally,
working
yeah.
with. Because I feel like she's like her last couple relationships have all been sort of with people she's worked with or worked like for, and it's just so messy. When
Yeah,
that
she needs to
happens.
stop screwing her editors. I mean, being the editor that her people screw.
Yeah.
I mean, she can't help how cute she is, and her
Well,
outfits
true.
are always amazing. But I was like, okay, here it is. Jake says he wants to work with both Kelsey and Zayn, and then he's kind of flirting with her. I'm like, okay, like it was a little bit of him too, like he has to keep it professional and not stir the pot already. I'm like, dude, you haven't even started. Like the lawyers haven't even signed on the dotted line yet, and you're already like causing trouble. But he was cute though.
Yeah.
Right, like maybe the book's going to go to Empirical and he's just going to keep Kelsey around as a side dish.
See, I like it. I like where you're going with this. And, I do have an inkling into what may happen because I think that he's going to definitely, I feel like he may even save the company a little bit with his book. I think his book may be so successful possibly that it may be really exactly what the company needs at this time.
Yeah, maybe get like Empirical back up there because Millennial's doing all right. They have the
Right.
Reese Witherspoon deal, but that's Millennial. That's Millennial shining. So maybe it will get Empirical kind of back in the game since, L.L. Moore's down for the count.
For now. Also, we loved having all the comments last week. Please, you can check us out we're online right now. If you have any questions, go into our chat room. And if you are listening to us, please give us 5 stars on iTunes. I like to call it a high five. So give us a high five with 5 stars if you're listening to us on iTunes. And what were some of the names of the people that wrote in last week? We'd love to say thank you.
Yeah, we had some great comments. Trisha Bontempo,
Yes.
Kendra Middlehurst, and Heather Fitz. Thanks, guys, for commenting. I go in there and read all your thoughts because I'm nosy and I want to hear everyone's predictions. And the wilder the better, honestly, especially if you can support them with weird evidence. Like, I
Exactly.
love hearing what everyone else thinks.
And we know we had a lot of Charles lovers in the comments. So.
I'm with you. I hear you. I am you.
I mean, I'm not hating on Charles. I flip-flop, but this week I just felt his pain. So Liza, finally he calls Liza out. Charles is like, who are you? And when he said that, his face morphed kind of like how Pauline's morphed when she was mad. So Charles and Pauline, the level of anger was the same this week. So it finally happened. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Were you like, finally. I mean, I personally was a little taken aback at how angry he was. I just didn't expect him. Like when he said he was hurt, I was like, oh no, Charles, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that you're hurt. It's like when a parent is disappointed as opposed to angry. That's what it's like the disappointment hurts more.
Well, I think that one like most powerful line was like, oh, was the lying your idea?
Yes.
Or like whatever he said, like basically like, oh, I bet it was your idea to lie.
Yeah, Charles was throwing a little shade
I was
there.
like, ooh.
Yeah, I wasn't completely surprised though, because I feel like we saw it bubbling up so much last week that it was bound to kind of spill over.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that we didn't drag like the fact that he knows out until like the end of the season. I know we kind of were thinking, oh, are they going to make that sort of a season finale thing where Liza finds out he knows? And I'm glad they settled that sort of early on because it gives us more room to explore more stuff.
Definitely. He said, you betrayed me. I was like, ouch. Damn. He said, you are not the type of person I want to have in my life. I was like, dang, Charles. Like, he just kept on, like, punching her with his words, like, verbally punching her. And I felt she just had to stand there and take it. She was like, you obviously already know. So there was nothing she could say or do. Like, how do you think she's going to try to come back from this?
I don't know. I feel like Liza's the type of person that might give him the space for a little while at least.
Yeah, because he's going to be angry for a while.
Yeah. I wish he would have listened to her more, though, and kind of heard her out. Like, I understand where he's coming from. Like, that's a big thing to lie about for a long time, and he definitely feels hurt. But she was kind of trying to explain herself, and I wish that he would just listen to her a little more. Because, like, he knows his industry so well. He has to know how hard it is.
Right.
But
the fact that he was like, she was like, well, I could quit. And he was like, well, I thought you did this for a job. I was like, oh, Charles, gosh.
Hurt me.
Those lines were great, though.
They were. They were very good.
I just have never seen Charles like that. Like, I can't remember the last time we saw Charles this angry, but it was good to see him working through his feelings. I think now we're at like the 7, you know how they have like the 7 stages of grief. He's at like the anger part right now, but hopefully they'll come out on the other side.
I'm sure they will eventually.
Yeah, and he'll let her explain some more, I think, hopefully, too.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. He hasn't given her the opportunity to explain herself yet, so hopefully we'll see more of that. Also, if you want to see more, we have tons of other great shows here at AfterBuzz that we'd love to tell you about.
Hey, AfterBuzzers. Here at the network, we produce after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There's no network that works harder to serve TV fans. But now we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. We're on the Comedy channel, and there's lots of other great shows on here, like Dear White People, Claws, and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
I know a lot about Kimmy Schmidt. I just finished hosting that after show. It's my second or third time with Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and we just have a great panel, as all our shows do. So definitely check them out.
And besides helping us a ton, here's what's in it for you. It caters specific content you already like directly to you, brings your favorite after shows so you don't have to seek them out, and it suggests content from other channels or podcasts that you might be interested in as well. Since you're already subscribed to our channel, make sure you check out those shows that we just mentioned. And remember, we have channels for other genres too, like drama, we have reality TV and sci-fi. I know I'm on the Westworld panel. I don't know what other shows you guys are on.
Yeah, I'm on so many. It just reaches everywhere.
Yeah. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't worry. They're actually optional. It's super easy. Just hit that subscribe button now for an easier AfterBuzz experience. And if you let us know that you did in the comments, we'll shout out to you on air. Thanks so much for being the best fans ever. We promise to continue to do our best to serve you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So I wanted to touch base on Pauline a little bit more. Like, I know this episode was about the big reveal between Charles and Liza, but like Pauline, there were some things that she said when she was talking about her relationship with Charles that Liza had to listen to that were very interesting. Like, she said Charles used to write her poems.
That's so cute.
Like, I wrote a poem for Josh last week, so Pauline and I have.
So it's like pretty much the same
thing. And the fact that she said something about them making love outside. Like, first of all, let's get a visual of Charles outside, like on the grass. What is this, a picnic situation?
Yeah, that really doesn't seem like a Charles thing.
No, not at all.
I was like, where did this happen? Charles, he's kind of tall. I'm like, people would see him. You can't really hide such a tall man. So I just that visual was very interesting to me. But it gave us insight into a part of their relationship that we didn't see because they were just, separating when we got to know them. How do you think that made Liza feel having to sit there and hear this about her love interest?
Well, it was like so clear in her facial expressions. I think Sutton Foster's facial expressions are hilarious every week, just like the way that she can react to things.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of that stems from like her having a theater background, but
Of course.
oh my gosh, that whole scene where she was telling that to her and Diana was so funny to me.
Well, and she's like had to listen to all kinds of stuff from Pauline about Pauline and Charles' relationship. So, I mean, it's just like...
But that's what surprised me about Pauline being so upset, because I'm like, Pauline, you had an agenda as well in this whole situation. Like, you befriended Liza so she could help you. So the fact that, like, you're playing the victim now, it's like she wasn't an angel herself in my eyes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned Sutton and her theater background. We have some news updates.
Yeah. So she actually just released an album called Take Me to the World back on June 1st. I've listened to like the first half of it. And it's really good. She has a beautiful, beautiful Broadway voice. So if you're into that kind of music or you just want to, try something different, check it out. It's on Spotify and everything. So
Awesome.
very easy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I love the fact that she's like multi-talented. Like, if you know her only from the show, to hear that she's also a singer is amazing. And you guys didn't like one of her outfits. Like, did you guys see that striped dress?
I liked it personally.
I'm always looking at the outfits, and I loved that striped dress with the knee-high boot situation. Guys, let us know in the comments what you thought of that outfit.
To me, it was like, did you get that at Goodwill?
What? Goodwill? Okay, sometimes there are good finds, like hidden
That's
treasures
true.
at Goodwill.
But it looked like it was like super retro. Like, I don't know. It was not. And then the high over the knee boots, I just like, I don't know.
It's so high fashion, I feel like, in the show that either you like it, because it's very like catwalk fashion to me, because the
Totally.
costume designer is this like crazy well-known person. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about fashion, so I don't know her name, but I know people
I think
talk about it and they're
it
like,
used to be
"Whoa."
Patricia Field, I think,
Yes.
who used to also dress the ladies of Sex and the City.
Yes.
I think now that people are starting to know that Liza is older, they're making her outfits like look really young.
Oh, you think they're doing it on purpose?
I think so.
Oh,
because I've
no.
noticed, like, even the last episode, it was like the boots, the like sparkly boots. I was like, those look like something a 14-year-old would wear.
No, I think they've always been experimenting with their fashion.
Well, true, but I feel like they've gone younger just because, like,
because of where we are in the
because
season.
where we are.
I feel like every show that's set in kind of this publishing New York, like, I don't know, background, like if you guys watch The Bold Type, like those outfits are very kind of a little bit extreme too. I just think it's fun to watch. I don't even know if it's good or not. I'm like, I have no idea what this world is like, but
it's one of my favorite parts of the show.
I guess New York is the fashion capital.
Exactly.
of the
Exactly.
US.
So these ladies have to take risk in their careers.
That's right.
And they take risk with their fashion.
so true.
So let's get into some predictions for next week. Let's do it. Yes.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I kind of touched on it throughout our conversation, but I think Mr. Jake Devereaux, with his handsome self, is a little bit devilish. The fact that he couldn't choose one side and decided to go with both Kelsey and Zayn is a red flag to me, and I think he spells trouble
Yeah.
to me.
Definitely.
You think so? You agree, ladies?
I thought at first, honestly, when Kelsey and Zayn like first saw each other, I was like, oh, he totally like isn't even going to the breakfast. He just like set them up because he saw like their like connection and then realized that they were just like fighting over him, and he was like, I'm not even gonna go, I'm just gonna make them eat breakfast by themselves. But then he showed up and I was like, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. And one of my predictions, I'm worried that Pauline's not done wreaking havoc, because she's so bitter. We saw that in kind of the last scene she was in. And so if she knows kind of these little secret between Charles and Liza, I don't know, she might expose their little relationship, their little fling, and that could really blow up and cause an even bigger scandal than what Charles wants to avoid. I also think that Charles is not going to tell anyone else right away. I know they kind of made it look like he was in that promo, but I don't think he's going to. But I'm so excited for Diana to find out.
Oh, me too.
I can't wait for that to happen.
She's gonna freak out.
She's gonna freak. She's gonna have all the emotions all at once. She's gonna laugh. She's gonna cry. She's going to be angry. I think it's just like all of these things are gonna come out all at once when she finds out.
I know that Miriam Shor, the girl who plays Diana, I think in an interview she said that she thinks Diana already knows. And I like that theory. I think that would be really interesting. Like, yeah, I know. Like, it's very obvious. I think that would be a cool reaction and something that we hadn't seen before.
I like that idea because she's very observant and she's been around the block a long time and she's been with the company a long time. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. Before we end, I wanted to do a little bit of our younger isms, which are our favorite quotes of the episode. One of my favorite quotes was from Charles when he says, "I'm not going to live my life to fit the novel."
Yeah, that was a good one.
Charles had some great lines this week, and that was one of them. What about you guys?
I liked when Pauline was trying to talk about her sex life and trying to make it seem like it was still being super great. She was like, because the guy asked her over the Skype interview, what restaurant would you go share your sex life to? And she was like weeping. She was like, we have hot Korean barbecue sex and it's just so spicy. I was like, what are you talking about? I loved it so much.
That's why Diana said Pauline is unhinged. And I was
so
like,
unhinged.
She's been unhinged, like low-key unhinged the entire show. I think ever since she came on the scene, she's been unhinged, but we've seen it more in this episode.
It's just so spicy. It's killing me.
Any for you?
I guess I wrote down honesty can be self-indulgent.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was a good one.
I like that. And also, I liked once you've created a story other people want to believe it as much as you do, from Liza, which was, I think that was it made me feel for her because like everyone's getting upset at our girl Liza. She did this going into this for a job opportunity and it turned into her falling in love twice, making all these new friends. So I feel like we should kind of ease up on Liza a little bit because she's going through a difficult time.
Well, I don't know I know I didn't really give a prediction, so I don't know what's gonna happen with Josh in this next episode because obviously he's just admitted that he's still in love with Liza.
Right.
But I think we can tell that Liza's not really, I don't know, like I don't feel like she has a love connection for Josh anymore.
She's
I think
over him.
she's still kind of like super into Charles.
Yeah.
And I don't know that she's gonna like flip-flop back to Josh if he like comes and is like, I still love you.
Yeah, I haven't felt their like mutual connection in a while. Like obviously they had the kiss at the wedding, which wasn't too long ago, but that was like sort of a weird occurrence. But this season, it seems like she's kind of hyper focused on Charles.
I know.
Yeah. So all you Charles lovers out there,
there's hope for you guys. I know, but our poor boy Josh is going to be left alone. But you guys will not be left alone because we will be back here next Wednesday, same time, same place for the Younger show on AfterBuzz TV. My name is Tsahai, and you can find me at Say Hi Tsahai. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Alice L. Ford on Twitter and Alice's Adventures on Earth everywhere else.
You guys can find me on Twitter at alphabet_Ann and on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. I also do after shows for Colts and Extreme Belief, Law & Order SVU, and The 100.
Nice. And Sam will be back with us next week. So join us again right here on AfterBuzz TV. See you then. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.